This is Sean Wilson. In this video, I'd like to briefly discuss the fundamentals of chess. Before we begin, we need to understand the chessboard and the chess pieces. So, chess is a game played by two different players. There is black and there is white, and there are 64 squares. Each horizontal line, which is in chess term called rank. So this is the number one rank as denoted by here. And there are other eight ranks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And each column is called the five. There are eight fives, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So this is called the E5. This is called F5, G5, and H5. You can understand now that each square has its own unique set of combination of number and digit. This is why, like this square is called D4 square, this square F6, this square C2, this square A3. And this is why we sometimes see those notation like if I play this, people can say that knight moves to f3, or if one play this, one can say that pawn moves to e6. So this is how the chess piece and the notation works, which we often see on the actual play. So now let's get familiar with the chess pieces. There are six different kinds of pieces. Pawns, you can see eight pawns in each side, and we have two rooks. Then we have two knights, and then we have two bishops, one king, one queen, and one king. So there are six different pieces. So pawn moves straightforward, always one at a time, like this. But at their beginning position, it can move forward only once, two times. So it can go here, it can go there, it can go there, it goes two times. But after that, they need to move only one. And they captures diagonally. So it can capture here or here if there are any pieces. So captures, and then again move forward one straight line at a time. And then if we look at the other pieces, it is easier to show in here. There are bishops which can move diagonally. You can see it can move this diagonal, this diagonal, this diagonal, and this diagonal. And there is knight which can move L shape. So it can move in any sort of L shape. So this L shape, this L shape, this L shape, this L shape. So it's kind of like up, jump, up, jump, up, jump, kind of like this, or kind of like this, or this. And it's sort of L shape. And there is rook, which can move a straight line in any direction. I mean, horizontally or vertically. And there is queen, which can move actually in any direction, like it can move like rook, it can move like bishop, but only thing that it can't do is this moving like the knight. And there's also our king, which can move one square at a time in any direction. So it can move there, 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 in any direction. So now the most important question, what's the value of the each piece? So whenever you ask this question, the naive answer is the queen because it can goes in any direction. But we need to understand that it was the purpose of this game. The purpose of this game is to checkmate the opponent. What is checkmate mean? Checkmate means when there is no legal move for the opponent to escape, or in other words, the opponent king gets captured. For example, let's say my opponent, I play this, then my opponent play this, I play this, my opponent play this, and I play this move. And now, as you can see, this is called shape because I am threatening to capture the king in my next move. So, and this king has no escape square. It can't move anywhere. But if we, this is called the checkmate, and when it happens, the game ends. But let's say my opponent move here, then I play here, I play here, and then I give the check. Now my opponent can defend this way, or we can move this way. I can give another check. So now my king doesn't need to go anywhere. It can capture this place. So when there is no legal place to move, when the king is in check, that is called the checkmate. Now, so in terms of that, you can understand the value of the king is kind of like infinity in the chess. It is the most valuable pieces, not the queen. All the pieces are supporting this piece. After that, you can say that the queen can move in any direction. This is why it is, after the king, it is the most significant piece in the board. Now, there are value assigned to understand it more clearly. So in terms of chess start, the queen has the value of 9. Then we could have rook, which is the second most valuable after the king, which has the value 5. And then bishop and knights both hold value 3, though it kind of changes, like bishop pairs sometimes dominate, and sometimes in the end game in some condition, knight dominates the bishop. So it can change something like 2.7 to 3.33, something like that. But in general, both bishop and knight for the same value. And we have pawn. Pawn usually have one value. So we can say that if we have three pawn, which is similar or equal to one bishop or one knight. If we have five pawns, then we can say it is equal to one rook. And if we have two rooks, then it is equal to one queen and one pawn. So this is, and it goes on and on. So pawn has some special ability. First of all, a pawn can promote. It is the only piece on the board which can promote, which means like say it goes here, then here. When it goes to the last rank, this is our last rank. When it goes to the last rank, it can convert into any other pieces except, of course, the king. It can convert to queen, bishop, knight, rook. So usually we get the most valuable piece, and then we can just checkmate the opponent. So this is how, and this is checkmate because the opponent has a stable square. So before we go into other things, we need to understand three important concepts. First, pawn also has another special move, which is called en passant or en passé, which means in passing. It's a French word in English, which means in passing. So let's see what does it mean. So when the opponent pawn come to the horizontal same line from their first move position, then we can play this special move diagonally. to go there. It only works in this condition, otherwise it doesn't work. Let's try it another time. Now I think, but if the position is something like this, it doesn't work, or something like come here, then here, it doesn't work. We can't capture this way. So it's only work when I then either way. So this is called ampersand, and then I have another important thing, which is castling. So castling means king safety, and it is a move between king and rook, either way. For example, let's show it quickly. So now we can castle. It's called king side castle, and there's another sort of castling. Or something like queen side castling. Now this is called the long castle, which is denotes by O. And you can also perform the king side castle, which is this. So this side is called the king side, and so this side is called king side. Everything on the right side and everything on the left side is called the good side. So this castle is king side castle, and then this castle is queen side castle. And there are other things like stalemate. Stalemate is when opponent king is not in check, but there is no legal move to play. So I can show it briefly. Like, for example, let's say I have my king here. Let's say we play this. So opponent go there. I play this. They play some. They play this. I go there. They play this. I go there. They play this. Now, if I play this, it's actually stalemate because this black king has no escape square and it's not in check, so it can't move there. So this is called stalemate. Stalemate can happen at any position. It doesn't have to be at the end. Whenever the king doesn't have any legal move or any other pieces, doesn't have any legal move, you can have stalemate with pawn, knight, bishop, etc. And there are other sort of stalemate. For example, if we don't have the sufficient piece, for example, at the end I have only king and knight, or like king and bishop. We can't checkmate the opponent king with just only one bishop or one knight. This is also called some sort of draw, not a stalemate. And then there are other ways to claim the draw, like 15 of rules. If when we're playing, if we don't capture anything or doesn't move our pawn to 50 move, then the opponent can play draw. And there are other sort of way to draw, like if position 3 move repetition in this context, like if the position repeats for 3 times, then we also can it's also can be played as draw. So these are the chess rules or fundamentals that I quickly covered in this video. Hope this helps.